Hi guys, week 2, discussion 3, intro to InfoSec debrief. I like to do a debrief on the weekend about the previous week's discussion. However, I didn't do that last week. I had the postings graded and the debrief mostly written, then my sweet doggie, Reese, delayed my response. She had 7 seizures earlier this week over a 2 to 3 day period. We didn't sleep a lot. 6 were in our house and 1 was when she was at the 24/7 vet. 5 of the 6 in our house were grand mal seizures. If you've never seen them, they're scary. And 1 was a small one. She has epilepsy, but this is the worst she's ever been. She also was very confused, didn't have a good idea of where she was in space, and was wandering around in a daze. I really didn't think she was going to make it. She made an unbelievable recovery yesterday and is much better. Every seizure, however, damages her neurologically. When she came home from the 24/7 vet, she stopped eating and drinking and taking meds for almost a day. We thought it was the end. My sons finally got her meds down, held her mouth open, and shoved it down her throat. I think if she didn't get the meds, she would have suffered another seizure, which would have been the end of her. So, think good puppy thoughts for my sweet Reese girl. She's almost 4 years old, and she's usually a happy and rambunctious girl. I hate that she goes through seizures. Hopefully, my sleep, and more importantly, hers, will get back to normal. Apologies for the delay in the debrief. Before we talk a bit about the topic of the week, let me give you a few reminders. Read and follow through the rubric. That's how I grade your assignments. Don't forget to ask a question if you're supposed to do that. And ask a different question than what you were asked in the assignment. If someone asks a question of you on the post you make, and if you have time, engage with them. It's one way to get to know your classmates and find those who may have similar interests. One question asked in several ways was, in terms of frequency and severity, how often do you think organizations today suffer loss due to a data breach incurred due to lower level personnel that fall victims to social engineering? And what policies do you think are necessary to prevent such loss? The short answer is most breaches are internal, whether they are intentional or unintentional. That is why organizations make you take regular security education training and awareness, or SETA, SETA. They may call it information security education training and awareness, information assurance education training and awareness, cybersecurity education training and awareness, or something entirely different. As you see in the next section, there are numerous titles for cybersecurity professionals, and they vary by interest and organization. Companies may also do testing where they send phishing attempts and see who lets them know about it and who gets duped. Ultimately, there are 2 types of companies: those who have experienced or possibly fought off breaches, and those that don't realize they've experienced breaches. Many of you noted the shortage of cybersecurity professionals. Even with growth in the number of people who are choosing cybersecurity as a major, there still aren't enough qualified U.S. citizens to fill the positions available. An important question from this discussion board is, how can organizations effectively address the talent gap in cybersecurity while ensuring their employees stay updated on emerging threats? Organizations often need professionals in advanced roles, and since cybersecurity has a distinct and separate field from computer science, information systems, and software engineering has only recently become its own field, firms may have difficulty finding highly experienced professionals needed. So what do? Well, they may turn to H-1B visas, as they have for many years in the past, but that can veer off into political divisiveness. These visas do allow organizations to hire highly qualified professionals in certain fields, but they could train new graduates. offer co-ops and internships to train them, and or engage with us, with universities, to ensure the graduates are receiving the curriculum needed to be successful. From the discussion board, I learned that Toy Story 2 almost didn't happen. And I loved OG Toy Story, Toy Story 2, and the rest. It was one kid's movie I could sit and watch over and over with my then small, now big son without wanting to kill the TV, or him, usually. For bringing forward an interesting and relevant fun fact that I didn't know about, the poster gets 1 point extra credit, or 0.1 point on the final grade. Here's a little reading material on it at this link to Screen Rant if you'd like to learn more. However, a little more reading shows that they deleted Toy Story 2 again. They did it on purpose the second time because they thought it was not good at all. They kept the characters in Andy's room and pretty much ditched everything else. Then they went on a 9-month tear to get the movie ready for production and meet their contract. And that, as they say, is the rest of the story. Have you ever heard of Catch-22 by Joseph Heller? According to dictionary.com, a catch-22 is a no-end dilemma or a paradox, similar to damned if I do, damned if I don't. I'm sure you've heard that. The example they use is what we were talking about. You can't get a job without experience, but you can't get experience unless you have a job. It's catch-22. So how do you get experience with a co-op or internship or regular job, for instance, when you need experience to get a co-op or internship or regular job? You'll notice I've answered questions like this on the discussion boards as well, but I thought it was worth putting into this discussion. Network. Get out there and talk to other people. Go ahead and get a few certifications if you know what you'd like to do and if they require little to no industry experience. Remember what I said at one point. If you know technology and or have technical skills and you can communicate, you can rule the world, because those two things often don't go together. Here are a few suggestions. Look for co-ops and internships that don't require experience or that have lower pay than others. Keep looking for one that's a good fit. Don't rely solely on KSU's career planning. Use all your sources. Join student organizations or at least attend their events. Get involved. You can go and listen to their speakers, ask them questions afterwards, network with other students, faculty, and industry professionals, and get free food too. Become a student assistant or tutor, especially if it has a technology component for the student assistant, or become a tutor, especially for courses that use relevant technology. Guess what one of the universal technologies that employers want entry-level or junior-level professionals, technology professionals, to know? Excel. Complete research projects with faculty members. Most of us are pretty approachable and like to engage with students on research projects related to topics we publish on. I publish on cybersecurity. I publish on research methods, various other topics I publish on. Get to know the faculty members better. Do well in the class so they will remember you. That looks good on your resume too. Keep an electronic portfolio of your best work. Simply describe what you did in your cyber courses and what you learned in terms of technology, communication, customer service, another thing they want, cybersecurity, etc. Keep up with all the skills you learn and document them. You may want to rate them as low, medium, or high, or use another skill. For example, you may say, I have medium skill in Python. Know your classmates. Get to know them better. For goodness sake, please do well in your group projects. Yes, group projects are horrible, brutal, and nobody does their fair share, but you do them in industry, and speaking from experience, you always have stragglers there too. If you're the project manager, most of the people don't even work for you directly, which makes dealing with issues complex. However, if you do well in group projects and everyone knows it, or at least some people know it, you have just networked for a future job. The students you work with are watching you in a good way and may remember you when they have a job opening. Check out a couple of team events we compete in, like the Cyber Defense Competition, if that interests you. Do stuff. I'm grading week 3 discussion 4 right now. Expect a debrief as soon as I finish. By the way, I'm grading in the order received and will publish each grade when I finish.